But starting things off, we're talking holidays this evening, and Ryan Pearson is the regional manager with Booking.com, and he joins us now on the line. Ryan, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you too?
Very well, thank you. So Ryan, 2020, I suppose, will be remembered as the year of the staycation, won't it?
That's correct. Yeah, we definitely see that in the research that we've done. People sticking to local areas rather than going abroad. And 46% of people have said that they're going to spend time to explore the natural beauty of their home country. So it's definitely something I identify with. The first break that I took after lockdown was a week spent close to where I was born and where I grew up. I think it's the travel equivalent of comfort food. It's about traveling somewhere you've already been previously, just for its familiarity.
And here in Northern Ireland, we've been travelling around places that we haven't been to, but I'm sure like a lot of people, we're thinking about getting back to those foreign holidays and looking ahead to 2021. So what's going to be the top trends for next year?
Well, I think the trend in general is that the desire to travel is as strong as ever. So we see that 95% of people are spending time looking for holiday inspiration, even with the current precautions. And 42% of people have said that they're going to travel more than they did before COVID to make up for lost time. So speaking to friends and family, they know where they're going. They've got ideas for the next 3 to 4 holidays in advance. They're just waiting for the green light. And in the research, a third of travellers intend to travel when they can, as and when they can, to celebrate an occasion that they've missed this year, whether it's a wedding or a birthday. So they're determined that the celebration will take place and that they're determined to travel. So the main positive thing that we see in the research is that people have that desire, they understand the benefits of travel, and so they definitely want to get back out there as and when they can.
Now, I'm sure there are some people watching this still worried about what's going to happen in 2021. We still don't really know where we are. What happens if you go on a foreign holiday and another lockdown situation happens once again?
Yeah, I mean, I would say first and foremost, make sure that you adhere to government guidelines. Those are obviously changing all the time. So make sure that you keep up to date. There are links to those websites on our platform. We encourage our guests to make flexible bookings. So in case they need to cancel, in case they need to reschedule, make sure that you're making a flexible booking going forward, and make sure that you've got insurance as well. Make sure that you're insured for any eventuality, including coronavirus.
And a lot of people as well are worried about the plane journey. Now, we've booked a holiday to Tenerife at the beginning of December, and wearing the mask on the plane the whole time, not really the most comfortable way to travel, is it?
No, I think we definitely see that in the research, that people are very much about precautions. 80% of people say that they're going to take more precautions when they make a booking going forward. And 70% of people will only book a particular accommodation if it's clear what health and hygiene policies are in place. So, for example, if you're staying in a hotel, you might want to make sure that they've got contactless check-in. If you're staying in a holiday home, you might want to make sure that you can have your food delivered there from the local supermarket. So the one thing that we've done is we've made a cleaning advisory toolkit available to our accommodation partners, so they can show all those little details in terms of their services and policies to guests in advance of their booking, so that the guest knows exactly what they're getting and what services are on offer and what precautions are being taken place.
So just going back to booking holidays, we've booked a few holidays that have actually been cancelled, and lucky for us, we have actually gone through a reputable travel agent. Would that be your advice, going through a reputable agent?
Yes, absolutely. I think our aim is always to support both guests and our accommodation partners. And when we went into lockdown, our advice and what we encouraged our accommodation partners to do very strongly was make sure that they gave guests refunds for the bookings that they made if they were unable to fulfill them. I think what's maybe changed a little bit since, because we're all aware of restrictions and we're all aware of the risks, is the reason why we give the advice now to the customer to make sure that you're booking a flexible booking, so that the power is in your own hands, if you like. If you cannot travel, then your booking says that you have the right to cancel at no charge.
So is now a good time to be looking ahead to next year? Are there any bargains to be had?
Yeah, I think there are bargains, and definitely in the research we can see that that's, as always, important for our guests, but it's increasingly more important with the financial legacy that coronavirus is going to leave. So 62% of people say that they're far more conscious with their travel plans going forward. I think that goes maybe beyond the price tag. It's also about the transparency in terms of the cancellation policies that we were talking about, and also about the services that are on offer in terms of maybe safety, but also in terms of sustainability. So 50% consider a refundable accommodation an absolute must-have for the next trip. And then if I move on to another trend, which we've called impact awakening, and this period has made people even more conscious about the environment, and as a result, they're going to look to travel more sustainably. So we see that demand for that kind of information from accommodations to understand, for example, whether a hotel is still using single-use toiletries, or whether they've got vehicle charging points for electric cars. That's the kind of detail that the guests want. That's what they're going to demand going forward. So I think it's up to ourselves to make sure that that information is visible from our accommodation partners, and for our accommodation partners to move in that direction and provide that kind of information and those kind of services.
And just coming back to staycations, more hotels and accommodation are now welcoming family pets along as well. And you can bring your dog on holiday now as well, can't you?
Yes, definitely. I think in our travel trends last year, over 50% of people said that it was more important for them to know that they could take their pet rather than their family. that was already here before coronavirus, and I think it's as strong as ever. So definitely there's been that kind of demand on accommodations to provide pet-friendly accommodations, but I think it goes further than that. It's about whether there's dog baths and blankets and places for them to run about. So I think definitely the demands on accommodations, and whether it's sustainability, pets, or whether it's safety, that's what we see in the travel trends going forward.
So Ryan, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us on The Big Show this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure.